Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 40-year-old Illinois resident Kevin Lyons posted on Instagram on January 5th of 2021. It was an image of his path from Chicago, Illinois to Washington, D.C. And along with the photo, Lyons wrote, quote, "I refuse to tell my children that I sat back and did nothing. I'm heading to D.C. to stop the steal." So after reaching the Capitol grounds on January 6th, Lyons was heard on his own video saying, quote, "We're getting tear gassed and flashbanged. Whoop, there goes a flashbang." So Lyons was undeterred by all of this. He kept moving toward the building, and then he was heard chanting, "Whose house? Our house." And he yelled, quote, "I love the smell of tear gas in the mid-afternoon." And as he and others were approaching the west front stairs of the building, Lyons said, quote, "I guess we're all going to jail." Wow, so prescient. And then he said, quote, "Let's take it." So he ascended the stairs and took part in berating officers. He was calling them Nazi bastards, the SS. He was calling them oath breakers. A few moments later, Lyons was seen on video. He illegally entered the Capitol. Alarms were blaring at the time, but he continued to chant with the crowd, and he yelled out, quote, "I seek an audience with my representative." And as Lyons was filming, other members of the mob could be heard warning him. They were warning him to turn back. They were saying there were officers, you shouldn't go forward. He ignored them. He pressed further into the Capitol. He entered the Capitol crypt where he was yelling for the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. He was also yelling out for the then House Majority Whip, Steny Hoyer. From there, Lyons made his way to the second level of the building. He went into Nancy Pelosi's office and he filmed himself in the mirror. And then he realized that they were all on TV, that the insurrection was being broadcast in the office on the TV. And he said, quote, "Holy shit, is that us?" And then another member of the mob said, quote, "They're getting ready for war." And Lyons replied, quote, "Oh, I'm not leaving my house." Then Lyons started looting the office. He picked up a staffer's coat and he yelled out to everyone in the office, quote, "Does anyone need a coat?" So then he goes through the pockets and he stole the staffer's wallet, which contained, among other things, the person's driver's license and about $150 in cash. So Lyons then moved into Pelosi's personal office and he held up a pair of monogram boxing gloves and he asked if anyone wanted them. Then he took a framed photo of Nancy Pelosi with deceased Congressman John Lewis, voting rights, civil rights icon, John Lewis. So that was apparently a photo of their very last trip together prior to his passing. So after that, Lyons went to the Capitol Rotunda. He was bragging about being in Pelosi's office, but he did exit the Capitol a short time later because the police came in. They deployed tear gas into that crowd. So Lyons called an Uber. He's had an Uber take him back to where he had parked his car, and he allowed the Uber driver to take a photo of him. The picture that the Uber driver took was of him holding up the stolen photo, the framed photo of John Lewis and Nancy Pelosi. So that image became a key piece of evidence against Lyons. Later that night, Lyons then sent a group text to his friends, and he included that photo, again, the stolen framed photo of Pelosi and John Lewis. And along with the photo, he wrote, quote, "I took this off Pelosi's fucking desk. We fucking did it." And quote, "I'm pretty confident I am now a multiple federal felon." So on January 11th of 2021, the FBI interviewed Lyons, and he admitted to being in D.C., but he wouldn't say whether or not he entered the Capitol. Then he started describing a quote-unquote dream that he had. He said in this dream, he was in the Capitol with a mob of people, and he saw people banging on doors and papers being thrown all over the place. So after he gives them this bizarre story, the FBI showed Lyons a screenshot of one of his Instagram posts. And in this Instagram post, he shared a photo of the plaque outside of Pelosi's office. He had taken a picture of it while he was in there, posted it on Instagram. And Lyons tells the FBI agents, quote, "Wow, you guys are pretty good. That was only up for an hour." Then he adds, quote, "I can't guarantee that I posted it." So after talking with the agents for a while, Lyons finally admitted that, yeah, I entered the Capitol, I was in Pelosi's office, but then he claimed the crowd was just too dense. He couldn't escape as he was walking from the ellipse, from Trump's speech to the Capitol. The crowd was just so thick, he was too weak to make it out of there. So, of course, he throws in a hero story. He tells them he rescued a police officer who was cornered by the mob. So, the guy who couldn't escape this thick crowd of people walking down Constitution Avenue, but he rescued an officer. As usual, there is no video evidence showing that he assisted any officers. It appears to be complete BS. So Lyons was arrested on January 13th of 2021, and he was indicted on charges of obstructing an official proceeding, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, entering certain rooms in the Capitol, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. Lyons refused a plea deal, and in April of 2023, he was found guilty on all counts in a stipulated jury trial. So he was looking at a sentence of up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. The prosecutor, however, requested 56 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. So this is actually a pretty strong sentencing request, given that this guy wasn't violent, comparatively speaking. Okay. Compared to what they typically ask for, this is a pretty strong request. And the prosecutor explained that he deserved a very lengthy sentence because of his theft and the fact that he never returned the items that he stole. He also was very evasive, as I explained, when he was questioned by the FBI. So surprisingly, Lyons has no serious criminal history, nothing recent. He was arrested for assault when he was 17, but the charges were dismissed. And then in 2014, he was arrested for obstructing an officer. Nothing since then. That case was also dismissed. U.S. District Judge Beryl Howell presided over Lyons' case, and he should have taken a plea deal. This judge is pretty tough. And Judge Howell sentenced Lyons to 51 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. So I have to wonder what his kids are going to think now, right? He was all worried about them not thinking that he did enough to, to back up Trump and his fairy tale about his stolen election. I wonder what they're going to think of him now. All right, guys, I will let you know if I hear any more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it, become a subscriber if you have not already, become a supporter of the show. Links are below in the description box on YouTube and on the podcast. Love you all. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.